with an army of vipers and lions. I had to keep
Aloha! 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 It's so good to see all of you. Thank you so much. It is such an honor and a privilege to join all of you here tonight. My fellow Americans and patriots who love our country and are committed to saving her. We have such an incredible and historic opportunity before us. Americans coming together in the way that our founders envisioned. We may not agree on every single issue, neither did our founding fathers, but they came together around the values and principles that are most important to us all as Americans, as we are doing here today and as we must do in this election. Those principles of freedom and the right of every single American to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know, I joined the Democratic Party over 20 years ago. I was 21 years old in Hawaii, and at that time I saw a party that was the big tent party. It welcomed people from all different backgrounds, different views, celebrated free speech, and actually defended those whose speech was being attacked, even if they disagreed with their views. It was a party that fought for the little guy, a party that fought for the plantation workers back in Hawaii. It was a party that stood up for the little guy and represented our values of freedom and liberty in America. You fast forward to where we are today. I left the Democrat Party because now it stands for the exact opposite of all of those things. I'm proud to endorse Donald Trump in this election because he is our best hope. He is our best hope to bring about historic transformational change, to stop the censorship of free speech in America, to stop the weaponization of our law enforcement and Department of Justice against everyday Americans, including first and foremost Donald Trump. I never would have imagined as an American and as a soldier that we would live in a country in my lifetime where we would feel like we have to self-censor what we say, that we couldn't criticize our own government for fear of them labeling us as a domestic terrorist. But this is the country that we live in. The very next day after I did an interview with Laura Ingraham on Fox News, and I talked about how dangerous Kamala Harris would be as our president and commander-in-chief, I was added to a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies. Shortly after, an FBI agent named Steve Friend blew the whistle on how the FBI agents were being used essentially as the Democrats' police force to go after their political opponents. They basically took away his job, doxed him, exposed his medical records publicly. I spoke with him today, and he is unemployed and unemployable because of what the FBI did to him. We are just two of many who are experiencing the political retaliation under the Harris-Biden administration. In America, we cannot allow that to stand. We are closer to the brink of World War III and nuclear war today than we ever have been before, directly because of the Harris-Biden administration's foreign policy. I've spoken with President Trump about this and heard and felt his commitment to walk us back from the brink and do all that he can to make it so that we don't have to live in fear of a nuclear Armageddon. Too many Americans are struggling just to afford the basic necessities of life. No matter how many times we've heard Kamala Harris and Joe Biden over these last 4 years tout and celebrate how Bidenomics has been great for America, it's really a slap in the face to Americans who are struggling just to pay the bills. It's almost as though they're out of touch with the reality that the American people are living all across the country. It's almost as though they're speaking from an ivory tower, saying how great they are and patting themselves on the back, while people are struggling for crumbs on the streets. This election isn't really about Democrats versus Republicans. This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about choosing, we the people choosing our government, and the choice is between freedom versus tyranny. The choice is between our ability to live and thrive in a peaceful and prosperous society, or to live in a constant state of war and economic hardship. Our founding fathers said that our government only exists with the consent of the governed. It's up to us to save our country. It's up to us to save our world. Our best hope to do that in this election is doing all we can, not only to vote for Donald Trump, but to make sure your friends and family do the same. This is a must-win state in Nevada, and our mission we have a no-fail mission before us, every single one of us as Americans who cherish peace and freedom and who love our country, to save our country, and we do this on November 5th. Thank you all so much for your support and for all that you're doing. Aloha. Thank you.